everyone. Today we are going to do about the rest of the three organelles. The first three you did in the first video, that is the endoplasmic reticulum. Then we did about the Golgi apparatus and the lysosomes. So now in this video we are going to do mitochondria, plastids and vacuoles. Right? Now the first one, that is mitochondria. Mitochondria, they are also known as the powerhouse of the cell. Now why they are known as powerhouse of the cell? Why? Because it releases energy which is required for the various chemical activities. You know, there are so many biochemical reactions going on inside our body all the time, and for that we need energy, right? So the energy which is released during respiration, that is also stored in the mitochondria. So it releases energy whenever it is required for various chemical activities which are needed in the form of ATP molecules. So all the energy it stores, that is stored in the form of ATP molecules. ATP means adenosine triphosphate. This is the full form of ATP. So this ATP, it is actually the energy currency of the cell, right? Adenosine triphosphate. So mitochondria, it stores all the energy and releases it from time to time as it is required by our body for all the biochemical reactions, biochemical activities going on inside our body. Then this mitochondria, it is actually a double membrane structure. Not a single membrane, but it has got a double membrane. It has got a structure somewhat like this. The outer membrane, this outer membrane, it is porous. It is a porous membrane. And the inner membrane, it is folded, right? Deeply folded. This is known as crystal. Now, why it is folded? Because it provides a large surface area for the storage of energy to be released, or all the chemical reactions that goes on. So, for that it requires a large surface area, and that is provided by the membranous folds which are present inside in the form of crystal. Right? So this is the structure of mitochondria, and this energy, this is very much important for all the mechanical work, all the chemical activities going on inside our body. Now this mitochondria, it is said to be a strange organelle. Why? Because it has its own DNA and ribosomes. You know, you learned about DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, when we were doing about the nucleus, right? I told you about this, that the chromosomes, they are made up of DNA molecule and all. So this mitochondria, they have their own DNA and they have their ribosomes also. And you learned already in endoplasmic reticulum when we were doing that, I told you that ribosomes, they are the sites of protein synthesis. So the mitochondria, because they have got their ribosomes, they can also make their own proteins, right? Next is the plastids. Now these plastids, they are present only in the plant cells, not in the animal cells, right? They are present only in plant cells, and they are of two types, chromoplast and the leucoplast. Chromoplast, they are the colored plastids, and leucoplast, they are the white or colorless plastids. These chromoplasts, they are the plastids which contain chlorophyll, right? And the plastids which contain chlorophyll, they are known as chloroplasts, right? So the plastids containing chlorophyll are called chloroplasts. These chloroplasts, they are very important for photosynthesis. The plants, because they have got these green color pigments called chlorophyll, that is why they are able to perform the function of photosynthesis, that is preparing their own food. If chlorophyll is absent, then the plants cannot prepare their own food. So that is why the chloroplasts, they are very important for the plants, because they, with the help of these chloroplasts, the plants are able to prepare their own food, or they are able to perform the function of photosynthesis. Then these chloroplasts, they not only contain this green pigment chlorophyll, they also contain the yellow or orange color pigments also. These leucoplasts, or that is the white or the colorless plastids, they are the primary organelles that store starch, oil and the protein granules in them, right? So these plastids, they are also membranous in structures. They have got many membranous layers, and these membranous layers, they are embedded in a material which is called stroma, right? Stroma is the material in which all the membranous layers of plastids are present. Now these plastids, just like mitochondria, they also have their own DNA and ribosomes, right? Next is, the last one is vacuoles. Now these vacuoles, they are present in very big size in the plant cells, but in animal cells they are very small, or they may be absent also. So if they are present, they are very small in size, otherwise they may be absent. So these vacuoles, while in plant cells they are very big, in the center they acquire almost 50 to 90% space of the plant cell. So in plant cells they are very big in size. If you remember the structure of plant cells, now plant cells, they have got cell membrane as well as cell wall, right? This type of structure. Now inside this, the vacuole is present almost, it may be this much of size, taking almost 50 to 90% of the cell volume. And here all the chloroplast and the other cell organelles are present. So this vacuole, which is present inside the plant cell, they are actually the storage sacs. Storage sacs for the solid as well as the liquid contents. So they help in storage, right? So in this plant cells, this cell's vacuole, this is full of cell sap, that is a fluid, and provides, what is its function? It provides turgidity and rigidity to the cell. The cell becomes turgid and also rigid because of the cell sap which is present inside it, right? Now all these important substances which are of very much importance for the life of plant cell, they are present inside this vacuole. So all the important substances required for the life of cell, that is required for its functioning, they are present in the plant vacuole, in the cell vacuole. That is, what are these important substances? These are amino acids, sugars, various organic acids and some proteins. All these are stored inside the vacuole. So, amino acids, sugars, various organic acids and some proteins, they are all stored inside this. In some of the unicellular organisms, just now I told you that in animals they may be present but they are of very small size. So in unicellular organisms like amoeba, these vacuoles, they are present small in size, and there are certain special vacuoles which are known as contractile vacuoles. Contractile vacuoles. They also help in expelling out the waste water and the waste food from the body of amoeba. You know, amoeba is a unicellular, only just made up of one cell, unicellular organisms. Inside that, the small vacuoles, that is the contractile vacuoles, are present, which help it to disperse all the waste water as well as waste food. Right? So this is about the three cell organelles. 3 we did in the previous video. So in this way we see that these cell organelles, they actually help the cell to function. Their structure, their organization, it helps in various processes like respiration, then in excreting out the waste, in making the proteins, helping in nutrition, right? We did about lysosomes, right? They help in expelling out the waste, discarding all the waste off. So these are the various cell organelles which help in the functioning, proper functioning of the cell. That is why we call cell as the basic structural and functional unit of the body, right? So this cell is the basic unit of life. Why basic unit of life? Because its structure, its function, its organization, that helps in performing so many activities, right? So this is all about this chapter. We finished with this chapter. Hope you have understood it well, and now next time we'll take another chapter. Till then, remain in your house only and keep safe. Thank you.